This mini-series is brought to you by the Animaties Patreon. If you want to get access to ad-free episodes, videos, and more, check out patreon.com/Animaties. Welcome back, Space Cowboys, Space Cowgirls, Space Cow Theys, Space Cow Thems, and every other cowpoke in between. It's time for another episode of the Animaties Cowboy Bebop Watch Through. This week we watched episodes 5, 6, 7, and 8, which took us on an emotional roller coaster of a time across multiple planets and threw even more pop culture references at us than last time. My name is Mackenzie, joined by my hootin' and hollering co-host Lindsay.
Well, hi there, Space Cowboys.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know why. Southern accents, for some reason, I could do them really well.
They're just so gosh dang fun.
Well, they're just, like, for girls, it's real cute, because you can just sound like a little Southern belle.
You are far from a Southern belle.
Yes, I am.
You almost, the look on your face like said you wanted to be upset about that, but then you quickly realized that I am not lying.
I thought you were saying that my accent was far from Southern, and I was like, excuse me.
No, just your whole demeanor. You're not very Southern bellish.
I'm more y'alternative.
Y'alternative. Oh, man.
Oh, yep. We're just going to start like that.
Well, Lindsay, did you have a good time with this week's batch of episodes?
Yeah, it was great. We got to kind of get like a little peek into Spike's backstory.
True. And
start to get some little plot hooks to try and figure out where we're going from here. So... Yep. I'm very interested to see where that goes.
Met some lovable characters like VT.
I was going to say VT. I love VT.
VT's fantastic, and we got our heart broken a couple times.
Yeah.
Just how it goes.
Yeah, we do. I think they definitely gave us a lot of really interesting guest characters to really get us emotionally attached to. Some, have happy endings, some don't. So that was I thought it was really good. I liked it. And then Faye just being a damsel in distress and a self-care queen was fabulous. And Spike being a curmudgeon who has to fix everything that Faye and Spike break.
You mean Jet?
Also, oh damn it, yes, Jet. Dang it, whatever. And then I'm just trying to walk in zero gravity. I sent you that clip because I just loved it so much. And it's, I love Ein. I love Ein so much. He's the best boy.
He is a good boy, and they don't feed him very well.
They give him bean sprouts.
Yeah, although this time we do finally get to see the crew actually make some money.
Yeah, we do.
Actual transfer of credits to their account.
In the one episode.
Exactly.
We're 8 episodes in, and we finally get one transaction.
At least one that we see.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be something.
That's always fun.
In Cowboy Bebop news-ish, the first episode of Lazarus by the creator of Cowboy Bebop came out today.
Right.
And it looks freaking incredible.
I was like, have you watched it yet?
Not yet. It's on my list for after I finished editing tomorrow's episode tonight.
Yeah, you should probably do that.
After that, I'm gonna watch that. But everyone's talking mad good shit about it, so
yeah,
I'm excited
to watch it. I totally forgot that was happening today. I was too distracted by the Game Changer season premiere.
Yeah, no, it looks really good. Apparently, Adult Swim or whoever's funding it, I think it's Adult Swim, came to the creator and was like, we will fully fund a series for you. And he was like, great, I want to make this thing that's like this show I made, Space Dandy. And they were like, yeah, we were thinking something a little more serious like Cowboy Bebop. Basically, they wanted Cowboy Bebop too. And I mean, which is unfortunate because Space Dandy would have been fun, but Lazarus looks cool as hell. So like, if someone's going to tell you they're going to give you all the money you need to make a good show and they're not going to fuck you around, hopefully, like they did with Junji Ito, then hopefully it's going to be great. Hopefully we don't get to episode 2 and it looks like dog shit PNGs again.
Oh, I really hope so.
That'd be trash.
I mean, wasn't the people who worked on John Wick also involved in Lazarus?
Couldn't tell you.
Okay, I'm pretty sure. I think I remember seeing something about that. And the John Wick movies are good. I like them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's jump on into it.
Sure, we can go to episode 5.
The Ballad of Fallen Angels.
Is like, what is this a reference to, Mac?
This episode is not specifically referencing a song title. This is referencing a phrase rooted in the ballad genre, evoking tragic or melancholic storytelling.
Oh, well.
Which makes sense for this episode.
Because it's tragic and melancholic?
Yeah, it is one of the most cinematic and beloved episodes in the entire series.
I mean, it makes sense. It starts off with like 2 crime bosses meeting and like seemingly sorting their shit out. And so you're like, oh, this is interesting. And then, as the one guy flies away, his jet explodes. And I'm like, oh no, did someone just get backstabbed? And then it's like, no, motherfucker. that guy's also getting killed. So there's like a new player. It's very cool how they start this episode
Yeah,
because it
this
gives you just a lot of questions and just like you really want to keep watching.
look, they introduce Vicious. We love a man with white hair and a cool looking bird. I assumed you thought he was a hottie because he kind of looks like Sephiroth.
Yeah, I said one left inside is killed by some gray-haired hottie.
I knew it. Do you know what
He
kind
has
of
a
bird
great coat.
That's true. Do you know what kind of bird he has?
A raven.
No, it's a cormorant.
I don't know what that is.
Fun fact, it is a bird that symbolizes greed in Christian lore. And
Oh, cool.
Satan takes the form of one when he spies on Adam and Eve when they first go into Eden.
Oh, didn't really read the Bible. I just went to church.
I didn't either, but I'm Googling all the facts.
Look at that. Professor Google coming in.
Yeah, we start strong with literally like double cross, triple cross.
Like, everybody's getting crossed.
The Syndicate is coming in full force. New leader,
Ooh.
something like that. Who knows?
Who's the Syndicate? What's going on?
Ooh.
I honestly was like, I don't know. Structures and stuff. I was like, I don't know. I'm just gonna keep following and see what happens. Yeah, I don't know. It all goes crazy. But then we cut back to the ship and Jet and Spike are arguing about this new bounty. And we see that like one of the guys that is the bounty it was just killed. So guess they're not getting that one. But like Spike and Faye go off to like separately take on this bounty. And it's very interesting to see the different resources that they use to complete this. Spike uses his networking and his ability to pull on people that he knows to kind of get information and things like that. And Faye puts on a skimpy dress and goes to the opera and gets captured.
Look,
Oops.
that hat, coat, and dress combo is perfection. She looks great. She's slaying the dress.
Yeah.
She's not slaying her preparations because she didn't even
No.
tell anyone what she was doing specifically. She just saw a bounty on a screen and was like, ho, 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 ho.
She was just so confident that this was going to work, and then it immediately all just goes to shit.
Well, she's like, this is the fucking Syndicate. Like, she doesn't realize that these ain't no backwater chumps.
No. And then, yeah, she was just like, oh, I'm here for the guy in box 1, blah, 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 blah. And they were like, oh, of course. And then she goes and dude's dead. Ooh.
This scene is actually reminiscent of the 1976 film Marathon Man, when
not seen that movie.
film's character enters into like a similar kind of thing, like a private opera box or whatever, and he finds the person he's looking for propped up in a chair with his throat slit.
Oh.
So that's
I feel
kind
like
of,
that's a very common thing that's referenced in cinema because it sounds familiar.
yeah.
Like, I feel like I've seen it in other pieces of media.
It's kind of like that, or like the Abraham Lincoln kind of thing, where it's like just slain in their
Oh,
opera
yeah.
box.
Theater's dangerous, kids. Oh, man. But like, genuinely, it is.
Yeah, it's crazy. But I love that Jet, when she like calls him and is like, oopsie, I got caught. Jet's like, cool, see ya, you're gonna die, bye.
Yeah, just like, it's not putting up with her shit.
But
oh, man.
of course, Spike is the good guy, and he figures something else is going on here.
Yeah, I love that he, like, his connection, he goes to the, like, there's two kids looking at nudie mags in a convenience store,
Mhm.
and they, like, try to run away stealing the mags under their shirt. And I was like, oh, this is hilarious. Like, just two kids being little shits. And, like, they run into Spike. And does Spike keep the magazine?
Yes.
Amazing.
Of course he would.
Hilarious. But I mean, like, it turns out that he knows this woman because her husband, her brother, I don't know, her someone, a man that's very important to her was the guy that we saw get killed.
Correct.
Do you know if it was husband or brother? Who was
I
it?
don't remember.
Okay.
But I do know that even though we see cigarettes in this scene, this is the only episode in the entire series where we don't see someone smoke.
Wow. Don't smoke, kids.
Fun fact.
Smoking's bad for you. I say as I have asthma, and Mac has had to edit out so many coughs because I have an asthma flare-up right now.
Yep.
Okay, yes. So, okay. Allegedly, I have my note that we said we get backstory on how Jet lost his arm, and it was because he was too gung-ho to rush into something.
So this is a tease at that. We don't
Okay.
actually get the full information until a later episode.
Okay, copy. I thought I just missed something, but that's good to know that I did not.
This ties up a lot more ends than Evangelion does. Don't worry.
I feel like a 2-year-old with shoelaces could tie up more things than Evangelion.
True. Very
Yes.
true.
Yes.
But
Listen to our Evangelion watch through, especially our last episode, to watch my mental breakdown after watching all of that show.
yeah, it's pretty good.
Oh man.
I like that I love that space still like in the future we still have cathedrals that are like existing
Hmm.
as like these like monuments to like past architecture
These beautiful Gothic
because we're not
pieces.
on Earth, right? Which means they had built these Gothic pieces in more or less modern times on other planets,
Hmm.
which is really cool.
Kind of leave this legacy of where we came from.
Exactly. But yeah, Spike has to go and rescue Faye, who's at a
Yep.
cathedral.
Yep, exactly. And so he comes face to face with Vicious, and they have a whole like tete-a-tete of like they know each other. I don't know. There's like some sort of
So,
romance, not romance.
so
I
I was
mean,
gonna say
I don't know.
romance.
No,
That's the vibe you got.
I was like, kiss already. That
No,
wasn't what I got.
so this episode
Hmm.
there is one goal for Spike,
Okay,
and
what
that
is his
is
goal?
murder Vicious.
So Vicious. Did
Because
Vicious kill him?
good question.
Oh my gosh.
It is
I think
more
I
or
got
less
that on the
alluded to
record.
that that is probably true.
Okay, cool. And there was
But
like some lady.
yeah, there's a lot of flashbacks that we're gonna get to in a second here.
Hmm.
This episode is two things. One, it's Spike, whose only goal is to kill Vicious. He has no hesitation murdering the guy holding Faye. He gets shot and he keeps pushing through. I love they don't make him a superhero. Like the wound actually slows him down.
Yeah, I did
And
appreciate that.
the other big thing is the boob physics because they are cranked to fucking
Fuck off. Yeah.
11 in this video.
I literally put, yep, of course Faye gets the guy next bounce.
Hell yeah. That dress has zero support, so those things are just like jello being slung around in a large bowl.
People can't see this, but I am actively shaking my head.
Look, I usually talk shit about it, but Faye's a hottie, so I let it slide.
All right, enjoy.
This scene where they're like shooting up the cathedral is based on a John Woo film called The Killer.
Oh, cool. It made me think of The Crow, because the final kind of showdown of that one happens in like this big Gothic cathedral as well. Who'd have thought The Crow, a very Gothic movie, takes place at a Gothic cathedral at the end? Whoa.
Who'd have thunk it?
Who'd have thunk it? But yeah, no, there's like a lot of stuff. And then my favorite is, yeah, like, because earlier in the episode, Jet and Spike get into like a fight.
Yes.
And Jet is like, no, like, don't do this. Stop, don't take this bounty. And Spike's like, too bad, I'm going to do it. And we get this scene where, like, intercut from like the chaos and the conflict that's going on between Spike and Vicious to Jet pruning his bonsai. And he just like clips it too short.
He's
And he
so
gets
sad.
a call. And he gets a call. It's like, Spike's in trouble. And he just yells, tough, and then hangs up, like doesn't even let Faye finish what's being said.
Nope.
And then he just like stops and then just goes, damn it. And I was like, this is such a like fun little scene of being like, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. He can deal with it. I'm not gonna, and then just being like, damn it, I'm gonna go do it.
We've all had that interaction with a friend before.
Yeah.
Where you're just like, man, fuck you. No, fuck, fine.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's well, because like this whole episode is very like intense, and then you get to that, and then you think like, oh, it's gonna be really intense. He's like, no, fuck it, just let him die. But then he's like, shit.
Yeah, he's like, let him have the consequences for his actions. Yeah, it's very interesting how like I'm assuming that Jet also has some sort of connection to Vicious and the Syndicate, but it just felt like with this, like Spike very much wants to go back and have the last kind of word with this conflict, whereas Jet feels very much like the person that's like, no, it's done, it's buried, let's move on. It's not worth it. So it is interesting seeing the conflict between these two characters and their what they want to accomplish.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the showdown between Spike and Vicious continues.
The standoff is perfect because the way that they end right before the big finale, Spike's got the gun at his heart and Vicious has the knife or the sword at his chest.
Mhm.
If Spike shoots Vicious, Vicious falls and the sword goes through Spike's chest.
Yeah.
If Spike is stabbed, his gun will go off, killing Vicious.
Oh, so
They
it's
are-
like mutually assured destruction.
It is mutually assured destruction. And it's like set against like this beautiful stained glass background. And the only thing that saves them both technically is an anger fueled shot causes him to like slip his shot, which makes both of them get shot or stabbed in the shoulder instead of the heart.
Mm-hmm. But he like goes out this window, and I love that as he's going out, he tosses a grenade. Such a
Hell
baller
yeah.
move.
Hell yeah.
I love it.
So that whole scene is flashbacks. And I'm
Mhm.
assuming there's a lot going on in those flashbacks.
There is a lot going on in those flashbacks.
Some of those clips last for less than a second.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a couple highlights, which is, things related to the syndicate. We see a woman
We see a blonde woman.
he finds and is nursing him back to health after his apparent, what Vicious thought was his death.
Mm-hmm.
And the music that is set to this is
It's like a children's choir or something.
it's La Traviata,
Ooh,
which is about a tragic love story, which is kind of paralleling Spike's
fitting.
past with seeing this woman who's healing him back to health and more which you'll learn in the future.
Ooh, I figured I would.
But yeah, it's a beautiful end moment because you think it's gonna be like he goes out the window, you're done. It's like, no, we get like 2 straight minutes of just like slow
Slow-mo
motion
falling and
explosion from the badass grenade.
yeah, no, it's great. It's great. And then we kind of end this whole entire episode on a light note of like, he's injured badly and he's wrapped up like a mummy. And Faye is like humming or something.
It fades from him picturing the woman helping him humming as
Mhm.
well into the real world with Faye.
Yeah. And she's like, what are you saying? And he like moves a bandage. She's like, you sing off key. And then she gets mad and throws a pillow. And that's how we end this episode.
It's a super good ending to an intense episode. Now, I bet you thought that this transition from this mystery woman to Faye singing a similar song was the start of playing into a romantic connection.
No, I didn't.
Really?
No, you are
Oh.
shocked because you smacked your mic. No, I saw it as like it's a humorous. It's like it's a comedic device showing like oh like it's paralleling the two, and then because like the romantic side, and then it's Faye, and he's like you sound like shit. Like I didn't think it was a romantic moment.
Oh, I thought that before that you sound like shit thing because you were one of your big complaints was you hope that she doesn't just end up being a romantic interest. I thought you might have been thinking, "Oh, this is the start of a romantic interest based off of a woman from his past."
Nope,
No,
that is
Spike's
not
just
what
being
I
a cocky
thought.
little shit.
Yep, you just being a cocky little shit, thinking you know me, and I can still surprise. Ba, 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 ba.
Dang.
Yeah. All right, on to episode 6, the Harmonica Kid episode.
Yeah, Sympathy for the Devil, which is a song by the Rolling Stones.
Yep.
And the connection for that song to the episode is because a mortal child, Wen, isn't really a devil per se, but like the episode is kind of asking for like understanding of someone who's been cursed with endless life. Like, for example, the
Mhm.
devil pleading his case in the song Sympathy for the Devil. So that's quite an interesting reference right there.
Definitely, definitely. Yeah. I don't know. We start on like some sort of sketchy surgical shit going on. It's like a flashback, and it's revealed that it's Spike, and then it cuts to him in that time, and he's in a bar, and there's like a kid playing a harmonica. I don't know. So we're like, pay attention to this kid because he's going to be important. I don't know how to talk about this exposition. It's
No,
great.
that's fair. It's just like it just looks like a little kid playing harmonica in a bar.
Yeah.
And then we just instantly cut to Faye eating dog food.
Oh my gosh. I was like, what is going on? I mean, I guess she'll have like a silky coat after this.
But she's like looking at Ein, who has no food. She's like, "You got to work to get your money."
I know, which I was like, girl.
Well, like doing absolutely nothing to make value for her money
Yeah, exactly.
to the point where like Jet even gives her an invoice.
Yeah. These are the expenses you've racked up while being on the Bebop.
You are not freeloading, motherfucker.
Nope. You,
You
gotta
can't
pay
get
your
me
way.
with your feminine wiles.
Oh man, I love Jet. Jet's great. But we got back to the bar. Apparently Jet's friend is there. His friend goes after like the bounty that they're there for and gets shot out of a window. Oh no, but thankfully Spike's flying by and he's able to like grab him. And he gives Spike a ring as he's dying. And they're like, okay, it's a ring. And then they're back on the Bebop inspecting it. They're like trying to figure out what this ring is. They're not really sure.
They take the guy who has recently been shot and is more or less kind of still alive, and they put him in a machine that can read his memories and
Oh,
put him on a
that's
television.
what it was. Yes.
And they're just like seeing what's going on, which is him like approaching this kid being like, "Let my friend go," and then the kid shooting him.
Except
Now-
you don't see the kid shooting him. It's like they frame it in a way that you don't know who's being shot, so that you assume it's the adult that's with this kid,
Correct.
so that the kid is being like quote unquote like held hostage.
Yeah, but it's the little kid. When?
Yeah, but we learn later on that it's when is this kid has been like cursed because of some sort of meteor shower from the moon.
So, okay, yes. Kind of.
Okay.
So the whole thing about that is this is a very big thing to the story overall.
Okay.
So it was the Astral Gate accident.
Okay.
And the Astral Gate accident, it was basically astral gates which were used for like travel. One of them exploded and it shattered a massive portion of the moon,
Mhm.
which like sent a bunch of lunar debris towards the Earth.
Okay.
And there's a reason, because I mentioned one of the things about this story is how everyone left Earth to like colonize other planets. And that's because it killed 4.7 billion people from rocks shattering down at speeds into the Earth.
Wow, that's a lot. That's like half the population.
Yeah, and some of them, known as, I believe, sunstones, have the ability to basically stop your aging.
Oh my gosh. And that's what happens to when?
Yeah, fun fact about this episode.
Oh no, hit me with it.
This episode is one of 3 that was
Okay.
delayed because of 9/11.
Oh, that makes
This one,
sense.
2 reasons. One of the reasons it wasn't if this one actually wasn't aired originally at all because of, like, the dead child,
Fair.
but the other reason in America specifically was the fact that it showed a man jumping out of a building
Oh, which is what a
and
lot of people did during
and a
9/11.
child being surrounded by charred corpses. So, this was delayed, understandably so.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you know,
I can
that's
understand why they would want to delay that.
yeah. But yeah, they read this guy's mind and they're like,
It's like,
"Oh, shit.
They're
What's
like, oh shoot,
what's this ring about now?"
what's this ring about then, kid? I don't know. So yeah, there's eventually like a showdown between Spike and this kid, and he like pushes some old guy in a wheelchair downstairs.
That's like Giraffe or whoever, the other guy
Yeah.
who he's been using as his adult. Here's the thing. The kid keeps getting new adults to like make himself seem like he's still a kid for like the eyes of the public.
Yeah.
But he never in a world where like plastic surgery is like pretty much instant in this world, like we saw from our first episodes.
hmm
This kid looks the same for the last like 50 years.
I guess because nobody would expect a child,
Yeah, but still,
which we
you'd, like,
kind of like the first part of the episode. Yeah, you never suspect a child.
I guess, but it's still super weird. Like, change your hair or something.
Yeah,
But
come
not
on,
just
dude.
like throw this old man that's paralyzed down the stairs.
Well, he's the bad guy.
Also, did you notice
Mhm.
anything about Wen's voice?
Nope. I just the entire time I was like, he looks like the little brother from Batman Beyond. That was what I was thinking.
Oh, it's Izzy from Digimon.
Oh, cool. Look at that voice actor getting work. Good job. Get your coin.
But yeah, it's a little wild because he just like shoot. Okay, here's the thing, you know, it's not technically a kid, and
Mhm.
sometimes people might be like, "Oh, I don't know, don't I shoot them?" Spike's like, "Nope, that's an adult man inside there."
Yep.
He says, "No problem shooting at this
And it's
kid."
evil. So
Exactly.
yep, 100%.
And
Oh
here's
my
the
gosh.
crappy thing. Like, you know, imagine a 1 in a billion event causing you to become immortal.
Mhm.
Like, being a vampire or being immortal would be cool, but if anyone's going to try and turn you before the age of like 25, don't let
Yeah.
it happen.
Good lord, no.
It's
Like,
so restricting.
yeah, at least be 21.
Yeah, because at least you can go anywhere in the world and actually go places, rent a car, do stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Imagine like getting pulled over by the cops and then being like, "Sir, you're 11, you can't drive," and being like, "I've been driving for 40 years."
Yeah, exactly. It's like 5 in the Umbrella Academy. It's like, I'm older than you. Just leave me
Yeah.
alone.
And like, you can't date
No, not really.
because anyone who dates you is a weirdo.
Yep.
And if you date anyone your looking age, you're the weirdo. So you're like,
There's
and he
no
also-
winning.
he also got experimented on. So like, I kind of get why he's evil.
Yeah, I would also be hardened by the reality of society and what it's
Yeah.
become.
Not entirely his fault.
No, not at all. This kid, you heard it here. This kid is actually like the hero in the story.
Okay, I'm not going that far.
Oh man, yeah. Well, we get to the final showdown. Spike shoots the kid square in the head, and the bullet has a gem on it, instantly making him Dorian Gray. And it ends with Spike trying to play the harmonica, and he does it poorly.
Yeah, this scene is like hilarious because kind of hilarious. This kid's like, "I'm immortal. If you shoot me, it's not going to matter.
Yeah,
I'll
so he
just
doesn't
heal
even
up."
bother to dodge.
No, he doesn't realize that that ring is now the bullet.
Yep.
And bro
It's
ages
great.
so fast.
Oh man, he shrivels up like a California raisin.
And he's just like, "Oh no, everything that's ever hurt is hurting now."
Yep. Oh man, it's like me once I turned 30.
Yeah, folks, if you're under 30, the second you turn 30, you look like Wen.
Everything sucks. Everything hurts.
Everything shrivels up or gets larger, and not in the ways you want.
Yeah. Except for all the fun bits that get larger.
No.
It's like your prostate or something.
This is like counting down to your birth, like 3, 2. Oh, good lord.
Oh man. I'm gonna go get water because my throat hurts. I'll be right back.
On to my favorite episode of the bunch, and probably
think it
yours,
was-
I imagine.
Yeah, it was definitely my favorite of the bunch as well. And probably your favorite opening ever.
Yeah,
of
this
just
is
a floating kitty.
Heavy Metal Queen, which is an
Oh,
reference
man.
to the song Heavy Metal Queen by a band called Trance.
I don't think I've heard of trans.
Me neither.
Pop
The
up
song's
in the
actually pretty
comments.
decent.
Oh.
And the entire episode is a reference to a Deep Purple song, Space Truckin'.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
I do know Deep Purple.
Yeah, after 2 fairly heavy episodes, we get hit with a large man who has a sexy thing for eels.
Sorry, what?
No, you don't remember that?
Oh, yes, I do. I do. I was like, I'm so sorry. You need to, because it sounded familiar, but I couldn't put the blocks together for where I'd heard that before.
Mm,
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
Yes. No, there's a bounty on this guy, and apparently he has a dragon tattoo, and so Faye thinks she spots him because she sees a bit of a dragon looking tail peeking out from this guy's shirt, and she decides to act impulsively and take her gun out and go to take him in, and then she finds out that it's like this weird, yeah,
It
eel
with the
heart
heart on its tail.
tattoo.
And you might think he's being like, "Oh, I just really like eels." No, no, no. The way he says it, the way he blushes when he says it, and the way Faye reacts, it is a I have a I'm not saying those words out loud, but that guy specifically has a thing, that character for eels.
I'm gonna see if there's a term for that.
Oh no.
Let's find out.
Cuz scalies is scales.
I can't believe I'm typing this.
Oh, good
Oh
lord.
no!
Did you find Ophidiophilia as well?
Yep, yep. Oh,
What is it,
no!
Lindsay?
No, we can't say this, can we?
Yeah, we absolutely will.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Someone click if you don't want to hear this, click the forward 15 seconds thing right now. It's a sexual act in which a person inserts the tail of a snake or an eel into their vagina or anus and gets pleasure as it wriggles to get free. Wow.
Oh,
I'm glad.
no.
I'm glad we took this moment to Google that and just learned something new today. We learned a term, everybody.
We did.
Good
We
lord.
did.
I need to bleach my brain.
It's not going to go into my lexicon, that's for certain.
Nope. Nope, it definitely is not. I feel gross now. I definitely
Well,
need to. I think I'm gonna need to go talk to Jesus.
hey, Lord, it's been a while.
Hi, it's me. I know it's been a while. I just learned a term that makes me feel dirty.
Can you smite some people for me?
Oh man.
Well, in a happier moment, yes, we do start with a cat floating in the spaceship.
It's an adorable cat. I love it so much. Let's only focus on the cat and nothing else.
Deal.
Oh my gosh. Yes, and then her owner, or I don't know the cat's gender, but the cat's owner, VT, turns out there's like a running bit where people are trying to guess her name, what the VT stands for, and she just has like this wad of cash.
Good on
from
her for not
people who-
spending it.
I know. I was like, wow, she's saving up. I don't know what for, but like,
Well, in case the
it-
bet gets solved, she has to keep the cash.
well, that's lame. What's the point of having it then?
It's just a fun thing. She keeps a bounty that keeps growing and growing until someone can guess.
But she hates bounty hunters.
It's a different kind of bounty.
Okay. Well, anyways, yeah, so there's like she goes to this diner and apparently there's a lot of bounty hunters and she's real salty about it. And here we meet a very hung over Spike who looks like death.
He's like 40 shots deep last night.
Man, like
Sunken eyes.
oh man, his eyes are just so baggy and oh, it's hilarious. And like she ends up buying him his drink, which is a prairie oyster, which good lord. No thank
Yeah,
you.
that looks disgusting.
I know people who have had them and I'm just like, why?
Yeah, I mean, he helps her kick some ass, so like it's only fair.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
she is an ass kicker.
She's incredible. Don't fuck with VT. It's amazing. But, you know, she finds out that Spike is a bounty hunter as well. And she's like, get the fuck out. I'm not paying for your drink. He's like, all right, that's fine. So he goes to leave. And I guess a bunch of hooligans have vandalized his ship.
It's the people that he kicked the ass of.
Yeah. And then it's also really funny because Faye gets her ship destroyed, chasing the guy that actually is the bounty. Because
Yes.
he like has explosives. So he throws a explosive at her and destroys her ship. And so VT has to give both of them a ride to the Bebop with their broken ship in her truck, like space truck or space semi truck.
Yeah, she's a space trucker. And
Yep.
the only reason she takes him is because the cat jumps on his head and is like, come on.
Look at this guy. Yeah, and then it's great because she's just blasting heavy metal the entire time,
Oh yeah. Hell
and they're just like trying to
yes.
talk.
I love her. She kicks ass. She loves metal. She travels with a cat. Her code name for her trucker is Heavy Metal Queen.
Hmm.
Apparently, her initials are a reference to the first woman to ever set foot in space, which is Valentina Tereshkova.
Amazing.
So, like, yeah, Faye, of course, Faye wouldn't appreciate the intricacies of heavy metal. Why would she?
That doesn't surprise me at all.
I don't know what kind of music she listens to, but it definitely would not be heavy
It's
metal.
like girly pop.
I feel like you're right. I feel like her everyday is girly pop, but when she like gets switched on for like go mode, she puts on like
Hyper pop.
yeah,
Yeah. It's like
hell
Ash
yeah.
Nico and stuff like that.
Oh man.
Absolutely. Oh man.
Both ships getting wrecked is super rough.
Oh yeah.
Because like in real world, you'd be stuck taking transit. If you live at home and you got two vehicles and they're both fucking gone,
That would drive
you're
me
screwed.
nuts.
As someone who had to take transit the other day for the first time in a long time, it is still the no deodorant, drunks yelling, children screaming, got rid of most of the seats on all of the new trains for some reason, hellscape that it has always been. It's the worst.
Oh man.
Why would you get rid of the seats on the fucking train?
So you can fit more people in there, Mackenzie.
Fucking not worth it.
It's the reason airplane seats are getting smaller.
Also, everyone wear deodorant. Train, gaming stores,
Good lord.
wear it.
Magic the Gathering competitions.
Yeah. Anyways, space truckers.
Well, and then like she hears over the radio that someone's there was a hit and run for one of her friends, and so she's like, I'm gonna go after him because they hear what the ship looks like, and turns out, well, it's our bounty. But she doesn't know that. She just goes after him, and I don't even what go ahead.
All of the truckers that she makes the call to, all of their names are referenced to a song by C.W. McCall called Convoy.
Cool. Oh no, it's a trucker convoy.
Well, not that kind.
Yeah.
These ones seem pretty chill and cool. They're
Not
all just like punk rock and like metalheads just like living in space, driving their fancy tattooed up looking trucks.
Not like, I don't know, redneck covidiots.
Nope, none of that.
Thank goodness.
Hell yeah. But like, it's like a space trucker chase scene set to ska.
It's fabulous. I mean, I would expect nothing less from this show.
No, like the whole thing is just comedic because like Faye's in a face mask, Spike's in his boxers.
Yeah, but they're like, oh shit, we gotta go. It's like Faye's trying to peel off this face mask and stuff like that. It's fabulous.
Oh,
but
man.
yeah, they end up going after her. And it ends with like Decker blowing his ship up and killing himself in the process. Is that what happened?
He
crashes.
He tries to take them through this like mining asteroid through the shafts, but he crashes and it cracks his windshield and he suffocates to death.
Yeah, his eyes get real boogy.
Yeah. And this is when they're like, oh, we need to get the fuck out of here. This guy is carting tons of explosives, but they're trapped in on both sides.
They come up with this plan to place an explosive in Spike's ship. And then they are like, it's set to like propel or whatever, go explode after 40 seconds. So it's like, okay, solid plan. But Spike misses VT and just starts drifting away and then does such a badass move to propel himself back to her by just like shooting his gun off. And I was like, that is so smart.
I mean, it's true. Any bit of propulsion you can do in space will send you where
there's no gravity in space. So you're not gonna slow down. You're just gonna keep going. So like it is a smart move.
And he's like holding his breath the whole time because it's space.
Yeah, which I was like, really? What would happen is you die. You freeze.
True. Although they are technically in a mining asteroid, which probably has an artificial gravity thing or artificial atmosphere. So there's no air, but maybe there's like, it's pressurized.
Maybe. I mean, unless you're in Padalero, you don't really die beautifully in space.
No, that was a good scene in Padalero.
Man,
Stardust
so beautiful.
specifically.
Yeah, the
Padalero
movie.
Stardust.
Stardust Keikaku. It was great. Go watch it.
But when she like opens the hatch to get him, the cat's like hanging on for dear life.
Oh, it was so cute. I loved it.
And I was like, no. Every time I see that scene, my brain is like, wait, nope, the cat is safe. The cat's always safe. Don't worry.
That cat did arm day. It's fine.
It's good. Its claws have not been clipped in a while.
Nope, it's good. Oh man. But yeah. So, and then we end the episode with Spike knowing her real name, and it's adorable because it's like she was married to a famous bounty hunter that Spike knows.
Yep.
So it's like Veronica. What's her name?
Veronica. Yes, that is exactly what
I win all the cash.
No, the VT's name. Her name is Victoria Terpsichore. Which has another reference I can't remember.
I was
related
close.
To...
Terpiter. It's fine.
Yes.
Oh man,
I love it because like they just they crank the metal, they blow shit up, they escape, they again lose a bounty.
Yep, unfortunately.
because of course they do. And then when he's like, he wins the thing knowing this girl's name, he only takes $100 for his shot that she didn't buy him originally.
Yeah.
Lets her keep the cash.
Yeah, what a good
Good guy
guy.
Spike.
Look at Spike go.
What a good guy.
Oh, man. Well, let's go to episode 8 now.
Which is Waltz for Venus, which is
Ooh.
likely a reference to Bill Evans' Waltz for Debbie, which is a melancholic jazz song.
Love
And
some Bill Withers.
this episode was also delayed due to 9/11 because we
What, the
literally
plane hijacking was,
Yeah, I
was
was
the
gonna
thing
say.
that they would have a problem with after 9/11? That's so weird.
literally start episode 1 of the plane hijacking. However, it's not successful.
No, it's not.
It is stopped by the Bebop crew, so like
Hmm.
but I do
No,
again
it's still-
understand why you
I was
wouldn't
like,
want that.
They took Bleed American by Jimmy Eat World off shelves because they were like, "Ooh, this isn't really right for right now."
Yeah, and it literally came out around the time of that. Like I think it was like really, really close to it.
Yeah, apparently it like came out right before and then they pulled it because I think the album artwork was something different as well that they had to change.
Possibly. I'm not entirely sure, but I
Yeah.
do know that on the plane there's a movie playing and it's a reference to Tom and Jerry.
Yeah, it is. I saw that as well.
And at some point there's a reference to Huey, Dewey, and Louie as well. I don't remember where it is. I just know it's there.
This show is just references on references. It's like The Simpsons.
Oh yeah, just intense. But they win finally.
Yeah, it's great. They finally get a reward. Faye asks for her part, and he does give her a little bit.
She goes straight to the casino with.
I know. She was like, "Why would I trust it in banks?"
I
And was
love
like,
people's. I mean, I kind of get it, but
Yep.
like, I love people's response to this. It's like Faye goes to the casino. Spike's like, I need this to save. And then
and
Jet's
buy
like,
food for Ein.
yeah, and Jet goes and buys actual dog food for Ein. He's like, here you go, boy. No more bean sprouts.
Yeah. Oh.
The poor little bean.
Whereas, like, if my rabbit got bean sprouts, she'd be so excited.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
The duality of pet.
The duality of pet, indeed. Oh man, but it's great because Spike gets a little fanboy out of it.
Yep.
Then he has this guy. I didn't actually write down what this guy's name was.
Rocco.
So Rocco? Cool. And he's like, "Can you teach me how to fight like how you did?" And he's like, "No, go away, leave me alone." He's like, "But come on." And then it turns out Venus has a lot of helium on it. And Spike's voice gets really high. And so he gives him a lozenge and he's like, "Great, I'm still not teaching you." And then he walks like 3 steps and then his voice gets high again. It is fabulous. I love it.
It's not the actual pill he needs.
Yeah. It was like, "That was just a lozenge. It's not what you need."
He's like, I'll
"Son
give
of
you a
a-"
real one.
Yep.
Train me,
he-
motherfucker.
Yeah, so he like actually trains him. And he's getting frustrated because he's apparently too stiff in his fighting. And Spike is like, "You need to be looser, like water."
Yeah,
He's
this is a very Jet Li styled training scene.
Which I assumed so, given what we've learned before.
Yes, correct.
But no, it's great. And then it gets interrupted because, someone is after Rocco. So Rocco gives the package to Spike and says, "Meet me here later," and runs off. And so back at the ship, they open it and it turns out it's a gray ash plant, which is something that's used to cure Venus sickness.
Yeah, so for the folks at home who haven't seen this, Venus sickness is basically these plants that were developed during terraforming release these spores. And for most people, it doesn't do shit. But for some people, you have severe, horrific reactions that can kill or severely maim you.
How fun.
And the only way to cure it is using these plants, which are hard to grow and worth like 10 million each.
Yeah, they're so expensive. So, and I just love how they're like, how this is revealed. Because it's like, Jet is just talking about these and how rare they are and stuff like that. And then Spike pulls off the like cover and is like, "Oh, like this?"
Wow.
The comedic timing is really good in the show.
It's sometimes I get annoyed when like you always get exactly what you need when you need it.
Mhm.
But they set it up enough that like it's totally it ends up being good because it's not just like, oh, we have our MacGuffin. It's like everything kind of plays into it. It's not just like, oh, it's just here. It's like, no, this had to happen and this had to happen and this had to happen. And it resulted in this chutzpah.
Jeez. Yeah, and sometimes it takes you a step backwards or you get the shit kicked out of you and then it moves your plan forward.
Exactly.
It's all great. It's all great. But yeah, they also are like, "Well, while we're waiting, we can look for a lower bounty." And they're looking at it and they're realizing one of the guys on this bounty is Rocco. And they're like, "Ah, shit." So,
Well, fuck.
dang it. I just let this guy go. So Spike goes to visit his sister. Turns out she's blind. And we learned they do a really good job here about making Rocco like more sympathetic. Because you
Mhm.
understand that he's kind of doing what a lot of people who don't have access to universal healthcare do when they're in a pinch and need to pay for medical bills, is turn to crime.
Yep.
And that's what he's exactly what he's doing, because he's trying to, I guess, run plants, illegal botany, smuggle rare plants to
It's not
pay
even
to
like
help
it's
his
like an illegal
sister.
plant. It's like an actual like normal medical plant, but because it's rare, it's instantly like if you've got it and you've taken it from anywhere, you are wanted. Not even by like science, but just criminals who want the fucking money.
Yeah, man. And like apparently he dropped off some sort of box to her the day before, and Spike's like, "Can I see it?" And they're like, "Yeah." And then he like notices there's a flap that comes down, and he pulls it down and realizes there's seeds for the gray ash plant in there as well. And it's like, oh my
Also
gosh.
worth like 9 million a piece.
Yeah, just like for one seed. That's insane. So he later meets up with Rocco again to return the flower. And oh no, other baddies showed up there as well. Now it's time for violence.
And now it is time for violence.
It's now time for a regular scheduled conflict and battle. So yeah, it's like a cool little fight scene. Rocco finally takes Spike's advice and he's like, oh, loosey goosey. And it's awesome. He's like,
Oh yeah,
going.
it totally saves his life.
Yeah, he's like, Spike, look, I did it. And then immediately is shot through the heart. And you're too late.
Did you see that coming?
Nope. I was like, oh no. Oh,
Yep.
fucking brutal.
Because you're like, oh, he did it. He became loose. He wins. He's going to get to his sister. Yay.
Nope.
Fuck no.
Absolutely not. Immediately shot and killed. We're like, okay.
I love that Faye during all of this is like, we'd often see Faye as like a goofy girl.
Mhm.
But in this, she buckles the fuck down because like she's like looking for people related to this thing as well. It's not just Rocco, like looking for the other guys.
Mhm.
And we like get the scene of her in the bar and she's like shooting everyone's guns out of their hands. She's like smoking of her face with her eyes glowing. She's so serious. She's like, I'm gonna murder all of you. Like it's hot as fuck.
It's great.
And then she's like on a chase looking for people. And I love that they don't discriminate. They showed two dudes getting it on, that she bursts into their room.
Yeah. I was like, oh my gosh, a gay couple.
They didn't skip a beat. She shoves the gun in his mouth and is like, where is the guy I'm looking for? And he's
I
like,
know, when he can't respond. She's like, I can't understand you. And I'm like, take the gun out of his mouth. Put him a different way.
yeah,
Your
he can only
interrogation
have so
techniques
many
would work.
holes plugged at once.
Oh my gosh.
What? That's clearly what they showed going on in this.
He was clearly the top.
Okay, fine. But the pun still stands. You get the reference I'm making.
Oh man.
But and yeah, they did that. They just they didn't even skip a beat on it. They're like two dudes doing it. One gets a gun in the mouth, gives kind of information. Off she goes to just like show up at this other battle with Rocco, and she's just fucking shooting everything. She's pissed.
She's fucking boss. It's great. Oh man. But yeah, and then we end the episode with the sister in the hospital getting the procedure done to fix her sight.
Oh, this is so sad.
I know, and then she finds out, oh, Spike has to tell her that
Comes
the
into
brother is dead.
Yeah, she like comes into the room and she's like, Spike, my brother got the money to pay for all of my surgeries and all my medical stuff. And she's like, when is he going to come visit me? The first person I want to see when I get my eyesight back is him. And then he kind of like pauses. She's like, oh, he's in prison, isn't he? And then she like
He's
touches his face and she's like,
"Ugh."
oh, your eyes tell me he's fucking dead.
Yeah, that's the exact quote too.
Well, but like leave it to Spike to be a good guy because
Yeah.
as he's leaving, she's like, this is all because of the bad stuff he did, right? And he's like, everything you thought about your brother being a good man is true. He is a great man. And I'm like,
Yep.
damn, Spike,
He's a flawed hero.
we're ending on the good. Yeah, so that's our episode 8. We are now 1/3 of the way through the show.
Wow. Oh man. All right, here's my wishes for the rest of the season.
Oh, okay.
I want VT to come back. I want more VT.
Okay.
I want her to fall in love with Spike. I want them to get married and have a happy life and
Okay.
go on being bounty hunters. And yeah, I want the cat and Ein to become best friends.
I agree.
And yeah, that's pretty much all I can think of right now. That's what I want. That's what I want for the rest of the show. And then just becomes a slice of life of them just in space, doing bounties, being in love.
But she hates bounty hunters.
She changes her mind when she meets Spike. Spike just changed her whole entire outlook on it. And they drink prairie oysters and
Ew.
listen to metal music.
You know, I won't spoil anything on your
Oh my gosh, it
prediction
happens.
for
I
the
fucking
show.
nailed it. I knew it. I could see
Yep.
it happening. You saw it in their eyes. The animators really
the
nailed it.
Screw the syndicate. Screw the woman we saw in the beginning of the one episode.
Hmm.
Screw everything else we've kind of leaned into on this with like the exploding of the moon. And
VT
yada,
is
yada,
secretly
yada.
the woman that he fell in love with that we don't
VT
know.
is Exactly. Yeah. It turns out
Yep.
that is VT. Mhm.
Yep. She's like, I had to go in hiding, Spike.
Oh, man.
Oh my gosh. I love it.
Uh,
They go on a Mr. and Mrs. Smith style mission to go kill Vicious, and then they live happily ever after.
Isn't Mr. and Mrs. Smith, they don't know that each other's a spy and they
I
just
don't
end up
know. I
almost
don't
having to kill
care.
each other?
Whatever. They do an Incredibles.
Yes.
The
they
whole
do
entire
an
show just becomes the
Incredibles.
Incredibles.
Anyways, well, this has been our second episode of the Cowboy Bebop watch through. Make sure to come back in 2 weeks from now to check out our next episode, and also check us out on Tuesday for our regularly scheduled episodes, which Lindsay will be hosting.
Hell yeah.
If you want access to more content, you can head to our Patreon at patreon.com/animates, where you can sign up for free or give us a lovely little donation to help grow the show and get access to our community Discord, bonus episodes, videos, ad-free, all that kind of good jazz at patreon.com/animates. And if you want even more other content, you don't want to do that, head to our YouTube channel. We're building a bunch of stuff up this month, and there's a bunch of big backlog of stuff you can check out on there as well, beyond just the regular podcast episodes. But another bonus you get for signing up to the Patreon is you get to have your name read out on the podcast. So starting with our supporting characters, we've got Matthew, Heise Holmes, Kanichu, Aladoris, and then moving on to our retro cuties, we've got Duffo, Carly Quack Jepson, and Butler Rat pushes body way too far, pushing a 900 through mud, pushing a 900 kilogram tractor for 1 kilometer through mud uphill might not be good for the body. No,
That
it's
sounds
not.
like the thing that my grandpa or my parents would always say about, like, I used to walk to school in 30 below in my grandpa's pajamas uphill both ways. Like, that whole thing. Did your parents ever say that to you?
Not exactly, no.
Okay, but something like that?
Kind of,
Yeah.
at times. And then we've also got a deep, sexy voice says, relax.
Ooh.
And then moving on to our chibi champions, we've got Swamp Wizard.
Ooh.
And Sean saying Baloo in the Patreon read makes Misaka want a Hanasaku Iroh episode, says Misaka as she fests it up.
Wow.
That's the one problem with Patreon is you can't have different names for different accounts. So we share a very big fan base with animated context. So we do get some crossover. They have said I can just call them the regular name from our Patreon, but it's just funnier for me to read these ones. So
Oh man.
I'm
I'm like,
keep
now I want to
reading these
know.
ones.
I'm like, Sean, what were you doing?
Well, everybody, we will catch you next time. Have a fantastic weekend. And before I do my final sign off, there is one thing we just posted on our Patreon, which is where I make Lindsay guess which incest anime titles and synopsis are real or fake. So make sure to check that out, and we'll catch you next week. Goodbye. See you, Space Cowboys.
Let the man eat his own ass in peace.